Coming to you from Strings and Things Studio in Ventura, California. This is the Strings Unraveled podcast.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Episode 5.
Yep. Ooh, 5 already.
Well, 6 if you count our mini episode from a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
5. That's
Mini
good.
episodes are bonuses.
Yeah.
We won't be counting them.
If you haven't listened to our mini episode, because we didn't promote it like a regular episode, there's a mini episode that we recorded live from Stitches a couple weeks ago. So go back and listen to that one because it was fun. A little short mini episode for you guys if you haven't heard it yet. But tonight, we're here for another episode. What are you guys working on?
Well, what are you working on, Karen? You have something really cool in front of you that you were playing out before we started recording.
Oh, well, it's not a thing yet because of all the things we will talk about later that are staring at me. But this cute little bundle of joy that's in front of me, these tiny little sweet little balls of color, are some mini skeins that I got from Black Cat Fibers when we were at Stitches SoCal. And one is this really pretty golden orangey pardon me, scratch throat. Yellowy golden
Kind of marigold.
Kind of marigold, but it's got tones to it. And one of them is more of a forest green with little bits of blue.
I would call it emerald.
Emerald. It's very much emerald. And they have one that is more of a cream base with little bits of lemon lime and black. Kind of splatters, not really splatters, but little dashes of color, and so a little bit of neon.
Mm-hmm.
And I have one that is mostly like olive and shades of blue, and again black, and more of a silver. And then I have this leftover lovely skein that from the Haverland that Anne brought back for me. That's really pretty. It's like, because you get those little balls of stash and you think this is so pretty, and I really loved it, and I know I'm done with it in that particular project, but I'm not done loving this yarn yet. So I want to do something more with it. I don't want any bit of this to be wasted because it's just too pretty.
What was the orange again? It was a sweater?
Yeah, what do you use it for?
For a sweater. But it's like the top of a sweater that is Lofoten, LOF something 10. Anyway, but it was like, it didn't, when you start these top-down multicolor sweaters, the first color, you just don't get as much of that one.
Yeah.
And if you start with the color you love the most, it's like you don't get to love it very long. So
that would have been a good one to be your carrot, since it's like carrot colored.
It is carrot colored. Look, it blends in with the lovely orange autumnal decoration on the table. But anyway, this pile of prettiness, I just had it in my little slip stitch studio, some Doctor Who type of, it's like one of those little bags that's only big enough to really put your soda, but they're great for
perfect one skein project bags.
One skein project.
I love those little things.
Is that what it's supposed to be called? I don't think
no, they made
like
it for
sock saver or something like that.
What do they call that one? It's the teeny tiniest one. It's my favorite. It's the Studio
Tot.
Studio Tot, yeah.
It's a little tot.
They're my favorites because they're really affordable, and you get the fun fabrics, and then it's big enough for like a yarn cake or a water bottle. Not my water bottle.
No,
I have
not
a
mine.
big girl water bottle.
Big girl water bottle.
That would fit like a toddler's water bottle.
Well, it's fine because it fits my little tiny mini skein.
Yep.
Okay, so
But
So
I
what
don't
are you
know
gonna
what they're
do with
going to
them?
be. I don't know. That's what I'm asking. What should I do with these
5
really pretty
cute.
things?
And when I asked what weight you got there, I was very vague, yeah. And it's fingering weight. What I meant was like, what weight
How much
of
do you
yarn
have?
in that?
Could you go grab your
much
scale
yardage?
and we could weigh it?
That would be such an awesome idea.
Yeah.
But
I took it home.
Oh, well, there you go.
It's Thanksgiving, and I started cooking today. Today
Oh,
is
you're using
Monday.
it for what it's actually for?
Yeah, it's a scale, and I actually use it for food. Duh.
how am I going to weigh my yarn this week? Even though I think I have 5 travel scales.
I
so
did
funny.
think about that for like 10 seconds, and I'm like, they'll get over it.
How would Anne weigh her
I mean, they
yarn?
look like decent little amounts. So if you
They're
had
probably
like
20
maybe 20 grams a piece.
I think they're 20 grams, so I
so
probably
you've got
have
like
about 40
100
yards.
grams.
Yeah.
Here's my...
This one's got more in it.
I think you should make Franken socks. With the orange as the cuff and the toes and the heel.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect, because it's kind of a little, it's like the big brother to these
You could-
little tiny skeins.
You could divide all your other little ones in half and do like a fadey thing with all of them. You know what I would do? This is what I would do.
Okay.
I would knit as far as you can, like divide each of those 4 in half. Knit as far as you can, just make a tube.
Ah,
And then put heel, toe, cuff.
Slicey dice.
afterthought.
Yeah.
Afterthought. Use
Perfect.
the orange for that.
Yes.
Perfect.
There you go. I planned your project for you. You're
Good
welcome.
job, Katie.
I bet that's great. That's awesome.
Because all you have
I'm
to do is
writing
just
it
go
down.
in the round. And you could do whatever
So-
sort of stripies you want, or fade, or chunks,
And it's
or
kind of
whatever.
like it's like a Frankentube sock.
Yeah.
Is that
You heard it
actually
here
a thing?
first.
I just invented that. No, it's not. It's been invented before.
Franken socks.
Yeah.
Have been invented.
But we can call it a Frankentube.
I'm sure that also already
Yeah.
exists. There's nothing new under the
This
sun.
approach might be a unique recipe.
Maybe.
That's I have never ever read the whole treatise by Lethal Knits. What's her real name?
Meredith
Lee Meredith.
Meredith Lee.
No,
Yeah.
Lee Meredith.
No.
Lee Meredith.
No, Meredith. Okay, I'm
No, I
looking
think
her
it's Lee Meredith.
It's Lee Meredith.
Yeah.
up. Okay.
Anyway, I bought her handout game knitting, and
Oh, yeah.
it's like 25 pages about how to turn your knitting into a game.
Oh, fun. She's super
I've done that
fun.
before.
Okay,
Yes.
we're writing her down too, right?
And
Because
so,
you gotta do all of her game type stuff. She has several of those mystery. You never know where you're gonna go with it, kind
well,
of.
this particular thing,
recipes.
I believe, sums up her whole like philosophy of how she's come up with the other playful things she's published, and
Adventure. Knitting,
yeah,
that's what
how
I mean.
you play a game with your knitting. Like, I've always favored the idea of picking 6 colors and rolling a die. For
That's what I did
color
for
you're
our
gonna
clock
do.
cover.
Ah,
The random
which is
stripes.
so flippin'
I assigned
cool.
each color a number, and I rolled the dice, and then I also rolled the dice for how many rows or how many ridges to do, and that's how I came up with the striping
Nice.
sequence.
So you rolled 2 dice at a time, and one of them goes for color, and the other one goes for number of
Yeah,
ridges.
or I just rolled the same one twice, but yeah, same idea. So you could do that with your 4 colors.
Yeah,
You would
that
need a
makes sense.
4-sided die.
You know, we've got
Those are
gamers.
the triangles.
Yeah, those are the little pyramid ones.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in a family with gamers, so
You
I'm
could
sure
do
we've
it.
got
Okay,
it
get a
somewhere.
4-sided die, roll the
4-sided die.
dice. For how
That's too fun.
This is brilliant. No, I want.
This is brilliant.
I want 5 colors.
Well,
I think I have 2.
you know what? In our mystery thing that
Or,
we will talk about
mystery,
in a little
yes.
bit, we probably can do that.
I'm sure I could, but
It
I
would be
want
easy.
to buy 4 new ones.
Yeah,
Karen.
buy a mini skein set. You know, it would be easiest if you found a mini skein set with 6 colors.
Yes, that would be.
Okay, now
But
I want to
don't
do that.
know, I like the 4-sided
I'm gonna invent
die,
that pattern.
though. I like the 4-sided die.
That sounds fun.
Because that's novel, the
Yeah.
4-sided die, and it's a lot nerdier.
I mean, they have any sided die, so
Yes.
you could
know
find
what?
anything.
That would be so fun. if
Any
we-
number of mystery.
Get your
Mini
bag out from your go-to Raglan and
Yeah.
get a 20-sided die.
I know it would need to be like 100-sided die or something.
Well, just pick 20.
Yeah.
You know, it's about editing.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll get my dodecahedron out.
Is that what we're doing tonight? We're editing. Of sorts.
Well, it's one way of designing, and some of the very popular designers don't do any editing.
That's
That's
funny.
another way.
So what else have you been working on?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, well, actually, I've been sewing like crazy. I've been following a gal. Her website is So Sweetness,
Oh yeah.
and she makes. And I on Sunday I watch her video. If you don't, you go to YouTube and subscribe, because she does different things on different days. So like I love watching. She has her Ask Sarah thing on Tuesdays, which. I think it's Tuesdays. It's during midweek, and people can just ask any question about all kinds of her bags. She is a bagwear designer, and I love that she their men and ladies, bag dudes and bag ladies and bag dudes. And her
I like
husband
that.
does this with her. I mean, it's really neat how they do this together. But I love, my favorite part of her show is this Sunday Social, SEWCIAL. And she does reviews of all different things, and because she paid for them herself, there's no bias or anything. It's just her own purely honest reviews. And anyway, so I discovered her Day Trip cell phone bag, and I had so much fun using my Tula Pink fabric from the new Zuma collection to...
Sorry to
Yes.
interrupt. Did you know that Tula Pink is coming to
Yeah, I was just
Super
thinking
buzzy
that.
What?
to do a couple classes.
Yeah.
You should sign up because I think they're selling out, and if you want to, you should
They're
do
doing it right now?
It's like in January or something. But I think that
How did I not know that?
one of our customers
Thought I
told me about it.
forwarded to you, sorry.
Okay. I'm so going to get in trouble
I don't know
for
if the-
spending money, but I don't care.
I don't know if the
I-
signups are open or yet, but you said Tula Pink, and that reminded me of that.
It's
Tula Pink is
continuing
coming to...
education.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Continuing
to Super
education. You're
Sorry
welcome.
to interrupt. Continue.
Okay, if you
Day
don't know
trip
who,
cell phone
if you don't
thing.
know who Tula Pink is, Google her.
Yeah.
She has some of the
I'll
most
link to her.
inventive and amazing fabric lines, colorful and just gorgeous and fun to look at.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I made this really fun bag. It's sort of the replacement for a instead of a fanny pack or belly pack or wherever you want to wear it. You wear it across the body, but it fits. It's just a smidge bigger than your cell phone. Your cell phone fits in a pocket on the outside, but then it unzips and you have plenty of room inside. There's zippered pockets and places for credit cards or business cards or cash. And I had so much fun. I'm making a lot more.
Cool.
I have to make 8 before
That's a lot.
before Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got everything cut out. And I'm making the first of them, so I will be working late into the night.
Because if you're local, we will be setting up shop at a local church just about a block away from our studio to sell our wares and also just to reach out to the community and remind them that we're here. So what's the address here?
This episode's going to come out after
Oh,
that.
haha,
So
sorry.
hopefully you came to see us.
Yeah.
It's on, I think we've already advertised that we're going to be
Okay,
there. So
sorry.
No,
Yep.
it's okay.
That's true.
So we're stocking up on things that we can make too.
Such a
So
Sell
sell
the
and to let people know.
such a time warp situation.
I know, right?
It's like
we're currently in the
I'm-
future or the past.
I'm recording right now, and that thing's in the future. Eek.
You'll hear it in the past, maybe.
Yeah, if you missed it, we might have
Dang, Huey
leftovers.
Lewis is singing in my head now. Gonna go back in time.
I had the Doctor Who theme song instead.
Oh, that would probably be a lot cooler. Well, do they change that with each season?
I don't think so. I think it's all basically the same.
Every weekend,
mean,
my son says, "Are you current yet?" I'm like, "No, I'm
Oh,
not.
I haven't
I
watched
haven't
any.
seen the new
Like
Doctor."
2 years behind.
Yeah.
I got lost somewhere.
I would
and-
like to catch up so that
Yeah.
I could see the new Doctor, but that's a lot of catch up I'd have to do.
Also, I would like to have a binge of the winter episodes.
Oh, that would
Like
be
the
nice.
Christmas,
Yeah.
just the Christmas.
All the
specials.
Christmas specials.
Yeah, but I would have to stop, with Amy or Dr. 11 or whatever.
Are you back with Amy?
Well, I've never really gotten over the loss of Amy and Rory.
Yeah.
So if you're not a Doctor Who fan, I'm sorry.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. You never know when that's going to be.
I just watch
I
all
won't
the
say what it
Doctor 10
was.
episodes and then I just start back from
Yeah.
the beginning because he's the only one I care about.
The problem is they don't always put the Christmas episodes in that
Streaming.
season.
Yeah.
They put them as a separate thing. So then if I want to watch the Christmas episodes, I have to find them separately.
I think Amazon has some
That's-
playlists. Of,
Yeah, that's on Amazon, and they always put this Christmas ones in their own separate season. I'm a chronological kind of gal. I like things in order.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Doctor 10, but I don't mind starting with Doctor 9 and working my way through.
I'm okay with Doctor 9. I don't like 11.
That's okay. But he has such good companions
Yes.
that I'm okay with it. Donna.
Oh,
Donna's
Donna's 10. Dr.
10.
Donna. I love them so much.
And she's amazing on The Office.
She is so funny. Is
Okay.
that Catherine Tate?
Yeah.
Is that her name?
I
Yeah,
think
she's
so.
hilarious.
She's
Don't
brilliant.
hate me, but I didn't love her at first.
Oh,
but
I
I
didn't love
grew
Donna
to
at
love
first
her.
either.
I love Donna.
Yeah. No,
I love her now.
The Doctor and Donna episodes are my favorite ones.
Oh.
The one with the adipose is the best episode. If you guys don't watch Doctor Who, you have literally no idea what we're talking
Yep.
about.
Sorry, we'll
Well-
get back on track. in a minute.
What else are you working on,
But-
Karen?
Oh, okay. So
I just want to say Jack Hark. When Captain Jack appears, I'm always like,
Oh yeah,
yes! I'm
Okay.
glad I
Jack-
stayed up
Captain
this
Jack's
much
pretty
later.
great.
it was worth stopping to pausing my Doctor Who watching to watch the whole. Now I can't think of it. There's a whole spin-off season from
Oh,
Captain Jack.
Torchwood.
Torchwood.
Oh, yeah.
I love Torchwood.
Yeah, sometimes I think I wasn't mature. It's for a mature audience sometimes, and I'm not
Oh,
always
yeah.
as mature enough. But then other times, I am. But anyway, okay. other thing I'm working on, when I'm not sewing, this is the thing, my go-to project, and I started it, when was, I guess, on...
Is it right after Stitches?
At Stitches.
Yeah.
I started that Saturday, I guess Sunday, really, the 4th.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making pretty good progress then.
That's real pretty.
So, Zandy Peters is an awesome designer, and she is doing a knit along. And even if you are coming to the knit along party late, because it's like later in the month, you should jump on it. It's so good. Blooming brioche, and it's this really neat concept where the brioche forms like flowers and bulbs that bloom into bigger flowers and vines, and it's gorgeous. And I'm using a sparkly blue yarn from Apple Tree Farms, and that's called Sapphire. And I totally got this wrong when I tried to post this on Instagram. I got the names completely wrong. I don't know what this other speckled color name is, but I got it from Black Cat Fibers, and it's your basic speckle, but it comes from a pale, instead of a cream base, it's a very pale yellow base, and it's got bits of raspberry and teal and of course lemon lime bright neon in there, and purple. And then I have a darker kind of version of that has a lot more green, that is from Apple Tree Farms, called Soccer Mom.
That's a good color.
It's such a fun name, and it is a great color. It was funny because when we were there, Lois helped me pick these colors out. But when I was first walking through, trying to catch up with you gals, Soccer Mom caught my eye, and I just wanted it. But I walked away for an hour. I had self-control for an hour. But then when Lois was helping me pick out yarn, her hand reached exactly for the one that
you
caught
already
my
fell in
eye,
love
and
with
so
once?
I felt like that was meant to be.
Isn't the brioche satisfying to knit?
It is super satisfying. And what's really fun about this pattern, because in the past, I know I said this earlier, and I thought I was going to get smacked by someone.
Yes, somebody who like ripped their brioche, who's generally a like very mild person.
I sometimes don't hate me, bored with brioche.
Oh, I was gonna smack you because how could you get
it was
bored
gonna
with
be
brioche?
you.
Oh, it was
Well,
me.
it was you.
Sorry.
That's right.
I thought bringing up brioche in presence of the other knitter was gonna get you smacked.
Well, the problem is, I get just like if you were to do ribbing, knit one, purl one, knit one, purl one. Slip one, bark one, slip one, bark one, or slip one, purl one, burp one. I just kind of get the rhythm gets monotonous for me in like a smaller project, but this is actually comforting when you get to just a few rows of just you'll have like 2 or 3 rows that are just brioche, and about every 4th row you get to do a really fun decrease or a really fun increase, and that's what makes them bloom into bulbs and then close up for the top of the bulb. And the fun thing too is, besides reading the pattern, she has text and she has charts, and normally I'm a picture gal, but I'm actually going with the words for this one. But I feel comfortable with the words because if there's anything I don't understand, Zandy made video tutorials so on YouTube for each and every one of these things. So I'm pretty confident in what I can do. And the only places where I got in trouble was because this got into such a swing of it that I stopped paying attention to my pattern. And I'm like, oh, reading's for suckers, except I must be a sucker because I need to be reading.
Reading is for suckers. Never you forget it.
So, anyway.
Cool.
And I was telling someone today, or not today, but yesterday, that, because yesterday was Sunday for our
in the past,
that before, if I made a mistake in brioche, I felt like I would have to rip all those stitches back to where that problem was because I didn't feel confident enough to spot fix it. But Katie here is like, no, this is fixable. You don't have to rip them all out. And so now I try to fix my own errors, and I do.
2-color brioche, surprisingly, is a lot easier to fix than single color brioche.
Yeah, I could see that.
So I was knitting a hat recently that was single color brioche, and there was one little stitch that I could have gone back for, but I was like, you know what? Don't mess with it. It's not worth it.
I'm so wanting the thing that you were talking about.
Yeah. So I just, are you done? Sorry, I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm totally done.
So I just finished a hat, knit with a special skein of yarn from my stash that I won in a giveaway on Instagram last Christmas time, from a yarn dyer. I don't know if she's currently dyeing yarn right now, but her Instagram handle is Hey Holly Ho Hum. And it's this great colorway called Christmas Flannel, and it's green and red, obviously for Christmas, but it's also got a ton of pink and some awesome speckles of purple and little pops of other colors that are in there. And I double stranded it because it's a fingering weight, so I could use it more like a DK weight, and I knitted a pattern called B to the 3 by Megan Schmaltz.
Just B.
Yeah, B to the 3. Basic brioche beanie.
Like the letter B or just B-E?
Yeah.
Oh.
Letter B. It's a basic brioche beanie in single color brioche. It's easy. I've made that I think I test knitted that pattern for her before it came out, so it was at the top of my mind when I went to look for a DK weight hat. So I just used up the majority of that skein, and the double stranding it in brioche makes like the squishiest fabric ever. It's super cute, and I'm very happy with it. Right now I'm currently knitting on the same hat I was working on when we recorded at Stitches. This is a Yarn Love DK weight in the colorway Unicorn Poop. And it is, James saw it today and he said it was like a highlighter explosion, which is an adequate representation of this color.
If I just saw, I see that wound in the ball, and I cannot tell looking at it that it stripes like that, but that is so cool.
It's pulling in like a spirally sort of
stripey.
Yeah, it looks stripes, but it's a thin spiral. So I am very happy with the way it's working.
That's so cool.
But it's pink and purple and green and blue and all the rainbow colors, but like neon versions of it, and it's just a simple basic hat. I also started with some of the yarn I got at Stitches, a pattern called Magma, which is a 2-color brioche shawlette scarf kind of thing. I'm making it in the yarn that I got from Leading Men Fiber Arts, which is like the orange and the one that looks like Reese's Pieces. And I'm also sort of waiting on a yarn delivery because I need to make a stocking for my nephew for Christmas, so I'm trying not to start anything new because I need to get that done. But the yarn has not been delivered yet, so I can't start it yet. So
there you go.
I'm working on other things until it gets here, and then he needs to get a stocking. So
I'm no longer bored with brioche. I don't find it boring anymore. Now I'm fascinated. now I'm in love with it and can't get enough of it. So.
Brioche is super fun.
I just didn't have the right pattern to inspire me, and now I want to do it everywhere.
Yeah. What else have I done? I have been sewing. I made a quilt with a layer cake with Christmas fabrics. It was a super simple quilt just to sort of get me back into the quilting spirit because I want to make a quilt for a Christmas gift. I'm not going to say who it's for because I know some people listen to the podcast, but I'm working on a quilt for a Christmas gift. The pattern is called, I think it's called Night Sky, and I'm pretty sure it was a free pattern on Craftsy. I'll link to it. And that is what I am working on.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. What are you working
on? In this very moment, I am making some cool memory wire bracelets to sell at that boutique.
Mm-hmm.
They were always a big hit at my little shop. And in the land of knitting, so we talked about gift knitting in the past, and I think I mentioned that I was going to finally make the Christmas stockings that I had started last year. No, I didn't. What?
Oh no, go ahead.
You heard something growling, and it's not my stomach.
Okay. Don't you love when you're like sitting next to somebody and you don't know if it was you or the other person whose tummy was grumbly?
I'm sure it wasn't.
It might have been me. Sometimes you can't tell.
Yeah,
it's true.
So I'm not going to do the stockings again. I really want to enjoy making them, and I feel like even at this point, or even like a week or two ago, that I would still have been rushing with the remaining 4 I need to make.
Mm-hmm.
So my goal next year will be to like devote one, a month to working along merrily and easily on each person's, which was my plan for this year, 2018, but
Yeah.
best laid plans. So anyway, I've been wanting slippers, and I have a regular student who knits the slipper pattern that you taught, Katie.
Yep.
Like it's breathing for her.
Yeah, how
and
many has
does a
she
good
made?
job. I want to say 5 or 6 pairs.
Yeah, a lot.
And I kind of am jealous of her slippers because, like, when you're watching somebody start a fun pattern, you want to start it too.
Do you remember the name of that pattern?
It's like simple house slippers or something.
That's
like
exactly
that.
what
Yeah.
it is.
They're fantastic and they're so cute. And she makes them real fast. Garter stitch start, and then you go in the round magic loop and decrease the toe.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea of knitted slippers always irritates me. That when you walk around your house, like basically you should just put them on in bed.
Yeah.
Or you should put them on while you're on the couch and then take them off.
Before you walk on
As
them.
soon as you walk on them, they're going to be disgusting and pilled and like the dirt from the floor and all that. But then also they're not necessarily safe.
Yeah.
And then all the different ways to like make them safe to walk around are kind of gross to me too. They like destroy your pretty knitting and they feel weird and ugh, like putting puffy paint on the bottom.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have to, do it.
But I love that I loved the ones you made to me to death. So
I love that you did that
holes.
too. So yes, I made Karen and Katie and Lois all slippers one year without bottoms. So I made you the kind of slipper that I think is adorable and cute, but you really have to.
I have
restrict your use.
no qualms about walking on my slippers because it's like I don't feel like your knitted item gets to like fulfill its life if it isn't used for its purpose. I had a friend who I made socks for. And I saw her walking around in them barefoot, and I was just happy to know that she wore them. Like, if you wear them out, that means that you wore them a lot and you loved them, and I'm happy if that is what became of my project that I knit. So that's my take on it. I'm
like
I'm
it.
going to use it.
And Karen has worn a hole in hers, and that warms my heart.
Yeah,
so very
it means
much.
that she's worn them a lot.
That makes me so happy.
But
It still grosses me out.
yeah, that's fine.
Not the idea of walking and pilling your slippers like as soon as you make them. So I resist making them for myself because it's like, they're gonna get ruined real fast. So I was at a store I don't shop at very often because I was looking for something very specific, and I found this amazing yarn, which the store is Hobby Lobby, and the yarn is called Scrubology.
Oh, I've seen that.
Fun.
And I can't find it anywhere else, so I think it is proprietary to their in-house yarn brand. It's like a piece of tulle in a tube stuffed with more nylon or tulle.
It's like super scrubby.
Yes, and it's got this kind of sticky, it's not rough, but it has like, if you imagine nylon net rolled into a tight tube, it's got this kind of squishy, sticky, frictiony texture.
So what do you do with it?
So I'm double knitting the soles of chunky slippers with
that on the
with
bottom.
that as the bottom. I don't have any
That's
whipped
pretty
cream
genius.
to show you how flipping adorable they are. But if you look at my Instagram feed, you can see my
I saw you were
swatch.
double knitting something. I
Yeah,
was curious
that's
what it was.
that was. And
Wow.
it comes in super fun colors. So I started with a gray pair with neon, yellowy green
That
soles
sounds
for
so
myself.
And you can't feel it on the inside?
Not really.
That's
There is
amazing.
like a little bit where you can feel where the two fabrics join, but it's not bad. And maybe I could refine that if I really wanted to work at it, but it's working out real good.
That's
and I
super cool.
think I might do it as a pattern.
Yeah.
I just have to resolve how I feel about shopping at Hobby Lobby
Yeah.
before I promote more.
And there may be an alternative to that yarn
There might
somewhere
be.
out there.
Yeah. And maybe also it will just take a little time to hit the market.
Yeah.
So I made a second pair for my mom who has smaller feet than I do, and my daughter. We do a handmade gift exchange every year, and my daughter looked at my second pair and she's like, "I know what you're giving everybody for Christmas for the exchange." That's for my mom. That's for grandma. That's why I'm making a second pair, and the next pair is for me, which is true.
Yeah.
And I will not let them see me knit the other 4 pairs. But they're pretty awesome, and they're snuggly, and the chunky yarn I chose is just pilling on its own because that's the nature of soft yarn, and it's kind of like low quality soft acrylic, so bleh. But you imagine, like, what are some good plied chunky superwashes?
Plied,
I was thinking
chunky,
of like some
superwash.
Lorna Laces chunky. Did they do
There
a
was
chunky?
an Ella Ray chunky that I used that I liked.
I have some
I think
of that,
that was
but
a
it's a
superwash
sweater.
merino.
It's a sweater's quantity. What I have.
Malabrigo puts out a chunky that's not Machita. or
But
Makita.
it's applied.
Not
I think
Chica, but it's Clyde.
I think
It's just
called
worsted.
Malabrigo Chunky.
Yeah.
Malabrigo Chunky, and that's pretty nice.
You
stuff.
do want plaid or you don't want plaid?
I'd want it plied.
Yeah.
because
Yeah, you need a structure.
Even though you're not walking on that part, just the
Yeah.
the rubbing on whatever.
Something with a lot of plies.
Yeah. So, anybody have any suggestions or want to send me yarn samples? And if you know of an alternative scribology, also just because if I were to put it out as a pattern, I would want to make sure that there's accessibility for people to try different yarns too.
Yeah.
And also, if just double knitting it was cool because you get a kind of neat. I wonder if jute would work,
Maybe.
but that might be too rough on the
On the
yarn
yarn.
it's being knitted against.
You might actually wear it out on its
Yeah.
own.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what I've been making, and I'll be making a ton of those. You might hear about them again.
Cool.
And then I am really loving my diving in. I have 3 of them going. It's a shawl pattern. It's a shawl recipe that you can find on Ravelry. And that, if you listen to the mini episode, that was the one thing on my shopping list, was find something to go with my 2 stash yarns as a third yarn. It normally, you can do it in 2, 3. You can probably do it in any amount of yarns you wanted to do if you just follow the recipe. And I have one going in lace, one in fingering, and one in worsted weight, which is perfect to knit on when you go see Fantastic Beasts, which is what I did last night.
I did that this morning.
The second one's out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either. I thought it was coming out on Thanksgiving or
I saw
something.
it today.
Yeah.
Ah,
So,
that's probably what my son's going to watch this
I
weekend.
guess without spoilers, any opinions?
I did not like it.
Okay. I felt jerked along,
Yep.
as with all these things where it's like, okay, here's a little slice.
Yeah.
No resolution in this actual thing. I think if you're doing a successful trilogy, it should be each of the movies stands on its own and tells a
Yeah.
story.
It was-
Don't divide a long story into 3.
Because I really, really love the first
The,
one.
so I
but
watched the first one this morning
but
so
the
that I would be
ending
prepped.
of the first one made me cautious about, like, I don't know if I'm going to like the other ones.
I love the first one also.
Because there's a character, there's a particular actor
Yeah.
introduced. If I'm being vague on purpose in case anyone has not.
He's
seen
in
the
this
first
new
one.
movie a lot.
Yes.
See?
You've seen him on posters.
Yes.
And quite
He is
frankly-
the titular character of this movie.
Well, quite
I just like using the word titular.
I was like, well, impressed. That was good vocabulary. I owe you a quarter or something.
I feel like he added nothing to
You
the
know,
storyline.
It's all
And
about him. So here's my whole thing.
Cheap shot.
You could
There's plenty
make
of
a whole movie
better people.
about him and a whole separate series about Newt and the Fantastic Beasts. Like, The Adventures of Newt Scamander. Like, I want to see him out, like, doing his thing and, like,
Yeah.
capturing all these creatures, but I
Yeah.
feel like they kind of shoehorn the two together.
Yes.
It's worth watching, especially if
Yes.
you're a fan of Harry Potter and the universe, because there's some, like, cool little cameos and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it did not impress me as much as I was hoping it would.
Precisely. I agree.
See, I don't. That's why I don't want to watch the second one, because if I want a movie
You
about that
should.
guy, if I wanted a movie about that guy, I could watch any of his other stuff. I mean, he's kind of a. I'm sorry.
No,
in
I don't
my
like-
opinion,
I
he's
don't
a
like-
one-trick pony. He does one thing he does over and over again, and they just kind of plug and play him into
Yeah.
whatever
I
scenario.
also don't like Johnny Depp.
Oh my god.
Thank you for saying
I
it.
mean, I used to like him.
You used to like
I think
him.
everybody used to like Johnny Depp.
Give me some Edward Scissorhands, some
Yep.
21 Jump Street.
I'll even take Captain Jack Sparrow.
The
Oh,
first one. The
just
first
Pirates,
one.
yeah.
Just one.
The
Just
first
Pirates.
Stop at one.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
I don't like
The rest are
him
just
now.
gratuitous.
Yeah.
And he doesn't add anything. I hope he listens to our podcast.
Actually,
He adds
you know
nothing.
what's interesting about your comment that he's a one-trick pony, though? Is this is actually a kind of dynamic portrayal for him.
Yeah, it kind of is. He was not so much a one-sided character as he usually is.
Oh.
There was some depth to him.
And it also wasn't him doing his usual thing either.
Yeah.
He didn't phone it in. Okay.
Well, he.
You have some
I'm not
strong-
saying that.
Yeah. You have some strong Johnny Depp issues. See, because I have Jude Law issues now, and he is dead to me.
That's a bummer because he's in this movie and I liked him.
Oh, I wish there were so many other people who could portray. But actually, it's not so much just that Jude Law is dead to me,
Why is he
but
dead
it's
to you?
that his former roommate is dead to me also, who was like supposed to be his good guy antithesis, which is Ewan McGregor.
Oh yeah, he's dead to me too.
Basically, I don't like wife beaters and cheaters.
Oh yeah.
So
Well,
he
isn't that
does.
Johnny Depp too?
well, both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why That's mostly
Cool.
why I'm
I just
completely-
learned that I can't like Gary Oldman anymore.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, for the same reason.
Ah.
Allegations, it hasn't been confirmed,
That's
but
fair.
I was,
And also, I don't think Johnny Depp was convicted on anything either.
No.
Because it was a civil
Right.
marital suit.
Right.
If I could put a plug in for something good that I
Sure.
have watched lately,
Oh, please.
The Good Place.
Oh,
we've been
everybody
watching
loves
it right
that.
now, too.
I have not seen it,
I
but
gotta
everybody
say,
loves that show.
I love Kristen
What the
Bell.
fork,
Yeah.
Katie? Why
I
haven't
know,
you
I don't know.
He's
I have been
"She's such a
rewatching-
bench."
Yeah, a bench.
A bench.
I thought I actually heard them use that word, and I was like, "Is that not a bad word?" And
In The Good Place.
yeah, but I guess they just use bench.
That's funny. This has been Movie Reviews with Strings and Rattle podcast.
Because I mean, come on, who doesn't also watch or listen to entertainment while you're
Yeah.
crafting in some sort?
Yep.
Even when I'm sewing, which I can't really I can't hear anything when I'm got my sewing
Unless you have
machine
your
going.
headphones on.
And that's why I got headphones because I can listen to something productive much more than the rattle, rattle, rattle of my machine.
Okay, well,
Alrighty.
who wants to talk about our subject for today?
Karen, you want to introduce our subject?
Okay, so we. Well,
I think this all started with our last episode 4, when Karen ran into her office to find something to knit at the last moment and
Yes.
pulled out a project bag and was surprised at what was in it.
Yes.
So we invented,
We invented.
What's in that bag?
yeah,
What's
the
in
mystery project bag challenge.
That's right. Well, yes, the challenge, but I'm not sure if I. So I think we each picked out, had the challenge to pick out 2 bags, project bags. We could not look in them, so we have brought back some bags with old stuff.
Because if you're
In
anything
it?
like us, you have piles of project bags with projects of various forms and states of completion in them. So we all have 2, I think, that we don't know what's in them.
I have been super impressed. Katie has finished so much stuff this year.
I feel
it was
like I've done
stuff
nothing
that-
but start things this year.
Yeah, but I saw you complete a ton of sweaters. And
I did, yeah.
And you even went back to stuff that was almost done, just so you're finishing it. You know, the end of the year, we kind of want to feel like we've accomplished something. And even if, let's just say maybe we're starting our New Year's cleanup early. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to open these maybe we'll go through each open a bag and see what's in it. And maybe we decide,
Talk about the project.
talk about,
if
wow, I
it's
don't
worth
remember
finishing.
finish it, restash it,
Frog
frog it, or give it away.
Yeah.
You know,
At some point, some time ago, I gave myself permission that, unless I was super into it, that if it's been cast on for more than 2 years and unfinished, that you should give yourself permission to frog it and reclaim the yarn.
to me, it's that same idea of that when you go through, say, your wardrobe, and you look at clothes you have, and you realize if I haven't worn this in 2 years, and it's not like a special occasion kind of thing, you probably are not going to wear it, and it's okay
Right.
to let it go. Gift it, or if it's in bad condition, toss it. You know.
I don't know, I'm a little obsessed with visible mending.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
okay.
Well, that gives new life to it. So
And that
doesn't
gives new
count.
life to it, but that's repurposing it. That's giving it, and that's a beautiful thing too.
So who wants to start?
Well, your hands are busy, but you have the most bags.
She's pointing at me. And
Okay, Anne,
all
you
right,
start.
I did pull out 5 bags because they're all like single project bags.
That's
so
true. I have got.
We'll
Okay,
see how
they're
many we get
bags.
through. Start with one.
They are from the Great Move, where I just kind of like took things and
And you don't know what's in any of them.
No, I play
I
by the
recognize
rules.
one of those bags. That's so
I
fun.
mean, something might like this one has something peeking out, so I have a pretty good guess at what it is.
We'll save that one.
Oh, last. Okay. All right. So I have a Slip Stitch Studio bag here. It is a yarn over truck. I think it's one of their exclusives. It's got like
Road
green
signs.
road signs all over it. It might not have been exclusive, but it was.
Oh, you got a carabiner on there too. Did you match that on purpose, or was that
I
could it come with
did.
it?
So I love carabiners because then you can hook it on your bag, and I don't think it came with it. So I
Cute.
hook it onto my purse when I'm walking around, and I
That's
use their
awesome.
little Slip Stitch Studio
Name
Tag.
label.
tag. Thank
Well,
you.
the label, I think that's what it's for.
All
That's
right.
all I'm
What's
guessing.
in it?
What's in it? Okay, this is a perfect bag for this, which I probably thought when I
That's me
bagged
doing
it.
drum roll.
So,
Oh my gosh,
Back.
those are short straights.
okay, yeah. Oh, these are some of my favorites. You can get this in the the Let's Get Started Knitting kit or whatever
They're
for
like
boy.
tiny little short straight needles.
There's
Those are so
like
cute.
maybe 6-inch size 8 needles, which 8 is
That
a
sounds
favorite
very
size.
usable.
Yeah, and I love straight knit things on it.
It's like the perfect scarf size.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Or
that a
small.
scarf?
No, it is an ancient pattern, but I've only been working on this for a short period of time. Like last summer, I think I started it.
Oh, so it's within this decade?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, this
I
decade.
may
Very
have
good.
stuff older than that.
I'm impressed. I have to go into my garage and start moving those things.
Oh, I have
here.
to go into my storage unit if I
Yeah.
want to play that game.
So
Well, I
this
had to
is
dig real deep, so when we get to me, I'll talk about it.
probably within 5 years. These bags.
Okay.
You're good.
And this is a project. I'm like late to the game on it, which is the Lizard Ridge Afghan. And you know, we knew the reality of Anacapa closing or changing was a long time in coming, but there was a period
if
of
the public
time.
didn't know.
Yeah, there was a period of time where it's like, if things just go a little better, maybe not.
Yeah.
So I spent a lot of money on enough balls of silk garden to make myself. I think I'm aiming for a 20 block
Nice.
Lizard
Like
Ridge.
a little lap
I
size.
did buy like a couple of, because I started this when we were traveling to we were doing like a long road trip to Oregon, and I bought a couple at the yarn stores I like to stop at on the way or in Oregon. I think I bought like 2 or 3, so maybe I don't know how many squares it's going to be, but anyway, there's 1 in here, 2 in here, 2 finished ones.
Cute.
And I think I was posting them on Instagram. I might have like 10 or 12, but they're not in this project bag.
They could
I
be
think-
anywhere.
I think they're spread out over maybe 3 bags. When I had the idea that I would do like 1 a day, and that obviously,
Wow, that's
because when you're, I think there was a day I did 2 or 3 when you're traveling, and it's.
They're not real big.
I think somebody I got inspired to finally do a Lizard Ridge when somebody came into the store and was looking for a good travel project. They were on the train, but they were a newer knitter, and Short Rows didn't turn out to be like a good travel project for them. But I was like, that sounds like a good travel project for me.
My mom and I started a Lizard Ridge many, many, many years ago. And we were going to each knit squares for it. And I have no idea how many squares we even made. Like, not that many.
Well, maybe you can make a small lap blanket if you ever
like a
came
little
across
scarf
it.
or something.
A scarf.
Yeah, Mom, if you're listening, remind me, because I want to know. Because she probably has it. I'm hoping she has it, because I have no idea where it is if it's in my possession.
Did you use Noro or Silk Garden or?
It might have been Kurion. I don't remember. It was probably at least
Probably when it
8
was
years
new.
ago. Oh, yeah, it might be. It's old. It's in.
This pattern
was
is
a long time
11 or
ago.
like maybe 11 years old, 10 or 11 years old.
Yeah. Cool. Well, Karen, you want to open up a bag?
You're next.
so. I had to dive deep for mine because I actually not quite a year ago. I actually did some cleaning, and before we moved here, moved a ton of my stuff from home here.
To the studio.
To the studio. I was moving a bunch of stuff. I got a bunch. If you've ever been in the studio, you've seen our shelving units. I have extra of those in my master bedroom. And so I was trying to organize the overflowing stash that was growing like a monster out of every room. And I was trying to, through that, I cleaned up a bunch of stuff. And I actually threw a bunch of stuff away. You know, the little balls that you can't match up that don't go with anything. But I did save a couple of bags of stuff that I figured I would deal with later. And one of them, I don't know how old these are. They might be more than 10 years old.
Wow.
I had to go deep diving
It's a nice tote bag.
into, what was this
I have
from?
one of those.
A Classic Elite yarn. I think Lois gave us each one of these. So I don't know that these are that old. It's more that I threw a bunch of stuff that I would deal with later. And I guess tonight.
And now we'll find out what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, what's in that tote bag?
I didn't really peek too much. When I'm going through my closet, I had to just peek to make sure it wasn't a bag of samples. Because, we've been teaching for a long time.
Yeah.
And I have like 14 years worth of samples. So I got
Well, I could see us doing this again. And
Yeah.
so you bring a bag of samples and we talk about what's in there.
Well, first thing is this lovely
some yarn.
skein that I made.
Ooh, it's
Some hand spun.
It's hand spun. I've never, and if you're a spinner, I spin stuff, but I never do anything with it. But it's all soft and pretty. I believe this was, and it's plied even. Wow, I even got as far as plying it. This is Noob. So this was from some roving from that.
New Malabrigo?
Malabrigo. Nube.
Nuble.
Nube. Nube.
It's I think there's an L.
No, it's Nube.
Okay.
Nuble is a yarn. So there's something like that.
Okay.
I don't know if maybe it is Nuble.
I don't know.
So I have, all kinds of stuff in here.
You know what I'd love is if our listeners told us that we were wrong.
We
Or
probably
right.
are.
Or right.
That'd be awesome.
I mean, I would love the feedback.
Okay, here's a skein of something chunky and
Some needles with it.
some needles with it. The needles are good.
That's a
but
fun yarn. That's like
I
a...
You want it?
that
Because I
is.
don't love this.
You
Yeah,
want
I
it?
could give it to Mirabella. She would like to make pom-poms out of it.
Oh,
Would
well,
that be
there.
an acceptable use?
So here.
She will be so happy when I bring this
I
home
have
and
gifted that to
allow
your
her to make a
daughter.
pom-pom out of it.
Okay, so I have,
Which is what she's making for our gift exchange.
Everybody could
So
use pom pom,
looks
right?
like most
That's what
of the
she
stuff-
said. I'm like, what will people do with them, Mirabella? They're pom-poms. They're just because.
I've got little bits and pieces. Mostly I have a bag of yarn that was going to become a summer sweater of Vera in a really pretty pale yellow, and like they're dark teal and they're gray.
What yarn is it?
Anzula.
Okay.
Vera from Anzula. Vera is a mixture of 65% silk and 35% linen. Oh, Seaside. That's like one of my favorite colorways. It's like the perfect gray. Not too light, not too dark. And this was going to be like a summery type sweater with kerchief sleeves. So it's going to be kind of lacy and it had lace on the bottom. This was going to be a design project. And that is, I'm sorry to say, very, very old.
Okay then.
But you can see I swatched. It's a really pretty edging.
Yeah.
With
Do
hearts
good
and
ideas
everything.
expire?
No,
No, sometimes they do, depending on how.
you might just
time
lose your
specific.
inspiration.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this edging was going to be, but it's really pretty, and it's top. It was actually top down, and it's going to. These are like hearts. This is a really pretty edge. I
Cool.
don't know if I still want to do that. So this yarn was bought at a trade show. Oh, Tilly Thomas sock in Glacier. I don't even remember.
I
when
don't
this
even
is.
know she
That
made sock.
yarn, yeah, is probably worth a small fortune.
Really.
Well, because Tilly Thomas wasn't cheap.
Yeah, that's true.
Ultra fine Australian superwash merino 90%. Okay, you know what? I need to make myself some socks.
Yeah,
So maybe this will go in with the Frankenstash.
maybe.
It's kind of a big skein. We'll see.
Yeah, I
I mean,
think it breaks the...
Australia. It does. Oh, it does say Australian. Not. I didn't realize. That's right. Australian land of sheep. I've got mixtures of
I
everything.
think of it as the land of scorpion and tarantulas.
Anything that wants to kill you.
I have
Or kangaroos.
a full skein of blue. How do you pronounce this?
Leicester.
But
I know, it's Leicester.
It's Leicester. Oh, well, you,
there's way too
you've
many
been
letters.
I think
on that.
it's Leicester.
It is. I
It
don't
looks
wanna
like
argue with the British.
Leicester, but I think it's
I don't want to
Leicester.
argue with the British, but if they're gonna shorten the way something's said, why put so many letters in it?
Blueface Leicester is what I've heard. I want to
Yes,
say
that.
Leicester.
Yes.
This
But-
is Fleece Artist. Wow, this
You
is not-
should re-hank that and dye the stuff out of it.
You
Oh,
should.
Yeah.
It's a
Okay, so
totally
this is staying in the
natural
office because that's
color.
going into the dye pile.
Speckle it.
Well, because it's this really creamy, it's color. It's a natural, and I'm not sure if it's even.
It looks
palely
undyed.
dyed. Yeah, that is.
Cool.
So that goes on the dye pile. This was
It's
the
just
bag.
a big bag of yarn.
It's a big bag of yarn and tea. Hey, pumpkin spice tea.
Oh.
Oh,
Hey, is there
Tis the
actually tea in that
season.
tin?
maybe there's like stitch markers or
no.
something. Oh, it's
You
empty.
empty metal tin. That's so
You
exciting.
can put so many things in that.
What could it be?
Well, whatever it is, maybe I'll just use it on the table as decoration.
I mean, it kind of
Gorgeous.
matches the theme.
Kind of matches the theme.
Or you leave it empty and then every time you come across it, you're like, what's in here?
Oh, nothing.
It's
Aw.
empty.
And I've got a bag of stash of. I don't even know what this project is. This project is probably 12 years old. I don't even know what this is.
Show us.
It's got pink and gray. I vaguely remember.
Karen sniffed it because she likes the smell of linen and silk, and she's checking to see if it's linen and silk,
I think
or
it's
she
got
just-
silk in it.
Or she just sniffs her knitting.
Don't you love that you can like identify a fiber by smell?
Yes, I do.
That's like a
Totally.
secret power.
Somebody
that
came in
knitters
one
have.
time.
Look, there's
and they're
actually
like,
a pattern in here. Oh, okay. This is a shawl called Helm's Deep from the Two
Ooh.
Towers series by Sunflower
Oh.
Designs. And that is Susan, I can't think of her last name. Maybe it's on here. Anyway, she's got some pretty fantastic designs. She's got a whole series of Hobbit inspired, like Tolkien inspired
That's exciting.
stuff, and she's like, you could kind of see that was wow, back when I had a color printer that only printed in like a few colors. You can see it's old. Anyway, I have no idea what this yarn. This feels like an Anzula,
Is
like
it-
a paprika.
There's
Yeah,
yarn
it
labels
looks
in
like
this bag.
Angela.
Does that go with that?
That would be red. No, those
Oh.
are. That would be awfully nice, but no, that's
it looks
'cause
It looks like
Anzula-y.
Anzula.
Yeah.
it looks like Anzula paprika, and one of their. I'm not
She even
sure.
knows the color.
Natural. Well, I know that colorway because I love that colorway. I think it's. I don't know why I stopped. I think it's one of those things where you start with the most stitches and
Oh,
you
and you have to decrease into it.
So I started with the lower edge, and it's pretty neat. But like I said, I haven't even looked at this for a while. But now I know where my really cool stitch markers are. For a while, I had an obsession with collecting stitch markers from. Write this down. The Winemaker's Sister on
Oh,
Etsy.
yeah.
She curates different. I mean, she puts them together. This is from the steampunk collection. So, because I'm crazy about steampunk stuff. Oh, it's a mixture actually of the Alice in Wonderland collection and the Chinese coin collection. Boy, I put everything in here, and of course then the steampunk.
Well,
'Cause
there you go. Now you found all your stitch markers.
I found all my stitch markers. What am I going to do? I guess I should. I think I might keep working on this one because I forgot.
It's
how
at the
fun
point
this is.
now that if you're decreasing, like all the hard part's done. Like all the
Yeah.
tedious part, you
Wouldn't
can have that
be
done in no
cute
time.
At the holidays with the colors you have, that pretty pinky red and the cream and the silvery gray.
Yeah, it won't be this Christmas. I have too many.
She said
other
the
things.
holidays. It could be any
Oh,
holiday.
the holidays. That's true. We got a whole
Valentine's.
year.
It could be 4th of July.
Valentine's Day. Yeah,
I
because
think it fits for Valentine's Day.
There you go.
So yeah, look at.
maybe a New Year's
I
resolution
didn't even
project.
appreciate how nice this is. Where it's slip stitch, slip. The stitches slip. Although when I'm looking at it, I think I'm off.
By this, she means her.
But
her-
I think I
her
don't
pattern.
care. I think I don't care.
Yeah, it looks pretty. You should just
It
go
looks
with it.
pretty.
You
So-
should keep working on it.
And that's the lesson to take away. That there's sometimes when you are the mistress or master of your own work. If you're going along and you make a mistake, but it still looks nice and you just want to keep going,
Cool.
keep going. So anyway,
I
yeah.
really only like correcting mistakes if it doesn't look nice and if there's learning, like if there's a benefit
this
in
is a
like
take of this.
improving your
I'll do that later.
understanding or
hmm
anyway.
Okay.
I have a tiny little project bag here with dinosaurs on it. And
love
I
that
squished
fabric
it
so
to
much.
feel that there are needles in here, so it's not just yarn. I don't know what it is.
This is not that old of a
Oh,
project.
no, it's not, because I know what this is. This is...
Oh,
These are socks.
they're so close to being
I know,
done.
they
my
really,
gosh.
they really are.
All
Okay,
you have to do is the heel.
so
Of
these...
one.
I know.
One. Seriously.
This
that-
is like 90% of a pair of socks. Maybe like 95% of a pair of
95%.
socks.
Are those your tubes?
Yes, so these are the tubes that I
talked about
had.
earlier.
I had cranked for me.
Oh.
by-
No, the different tubes, Karen.
These are different tubes. So I sent a
So
skein
you
of
didn't even
yarn.
have to knit those tubes.
I sent a skein of yarn to, I think her Instagram handle is Anyone Can Quilt, but her,
Yes.
no, she just changed it.
Oh.
Murray Wool Company or something like that. I'll link to it. I follow her on Instagram.
Oh, that might be the person who was like, that's cute. When did she join when did I add her to my...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she changed her Instagram name. So you can mail her a skein of sock yarn. She puts it on her antique sock knitting machine and cranks out tubes. She sends them back to you, and then you knit heels and toes and cuffs onto them. And I have done that on one sock, and I have knit the cuff and the toe on the second one, and even picked up stitches for the second heel. So it would take me like, a couple
One
hours of
evening.
knitting to finish it, and then I have a pair of socks. And the yarn is, I think, This one is Haverland.
That
The
is
background
recent.
speckle.
That was just a couple months ago.
No, this I bought from her a
Yeah.
while ago.
Oh, okay.
I knew it was recent because of her project bag.
Yes.
Because I
Because
bought
she
the
also
bigger
has a
one of
project
that.
bag. This I found in a random bag of bags. You know, you have those bags of bags.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what was in it. So now I know. I could finish this pair of socks and then I would be, you know, I'm actually wearing hand knit socks today.
Show me your socks.
I'm wearing these.
Ooh, they're so pretty.
Take my shoes off.
Purple.
They are
They're
scrappy
Franken
Franken
socks.
socks. Yeah, they are.
Oh, those are so cool.
And they don't match each other.
Oh, that's
well,
nice.
that's the point of the Franken sock.
Yeah.
Very nice. Those are super cute socks.
Thank you. So I could finish these and then I would have another pair of hand knit socks to put in my drawer that I hardly ever wear.
But it's time. Like
It is time. I wore them all day and my feet weren't even sweaty.
My ankles have been
So
cold
you
all
only
day.
have like little bags.
I have 2 small bags.
You don't have like the suitcases
Oh, I
that I
do.
brought?
I do,
Oh.
but I just didn't bring them.
Oh.
I brought small ones.
So this is just our first go of
Yeah,
this
we could
topic.
do this again.
Yeah. I'm going to do 2
Okay.
because
She's got a lot.
then it's equal turns. All right. This is an old Ravelry bag.
Oh,
It's
that's so
got
cute.
A
It's got a fox on
rhino. A rhino holding a
Skein of yarn.
and then a little. I
Is
don't
that a
think
red
it's
panda?
fox. Yeah, I think it is a red panda.
It's so cute.
This has a
Oh, it is a
stripy
red
tail.
panda.
And it's neon green yarn. Gotta love that.
Though I can't, but winding it into a ball.
And I think this is all just scraps. We got some burgundy comfort. We got a ton of UU worsted, which I think
That's
I
good
used
stuff.
to
So
make.
sometimes are your scraps like mine where you just finish projects and they kind of gather in the bottom of a bag with other finished projects?
Yes.
Yep.
And then it becomes okay, there's too much stuff, so I'm going to just move on to a new
Yes.
bag and
Yep.
leave all the leftovers.
Yes.
What did you use the UU for?
I think I used it for 2 things.
You have Christmas colors in there.
well, And here's
It's like the what is it? The steam
it's
shovel?
I mean, I think
It's
you're
like
thinking of Bob the Builder, which it might be a Bob the
No?
Builder Lego.
Okay, but
it might
I'm
be a
not.
Bob the Builder Lego
Oh.
something.
But it
like
reminds
that.
me
like
of that classic
the-
story of Mike the Steam
Oh,
shovel.
that's a red, white, and black, simple 2-color.
She has half of a toy.
Yeah, it's like a
Like a scooper.
a shovel
Excavator?
scooper. An
Maybe?
excavator shovel that I think
Some
goes
sort of construction
to,
vehicle.
I think it goes to a Lego set. I mean, I should see Lego on it somewhere, but I don't. So
Which
it's
son?
just a
Which
toy.
son is missing that?
Actually,
Or
judging
husband?
from it could be Dante or it could be Marabella. Judging because I know what projects these were.
Oh, sorry.
So long
Time
I
period.
didn't mean to be gender specific because I loved Legos as a young girl. So
It's okay. So I think it's used so
That
sporty
looks
maybe
worsted.
too. Well, there's worsted, but seems thin. But maybe it's worsted. Anyway, this is either a mix of headbands,
Oh,
which
yeah.
would come from a Knit Miss blog post.
Oh, yeah.
I
Way
did
back when.
a whole bunch of
that's right.
knit.
You did as a
these-
class, right? No.
It's hard to say if this is Knitmas or if this is when I was trying to do a project a week, which I was only
Oh, that's
14
the
weeks
52.
short of. 52 projects in 52 weeks. I stopped short 14 weeks, which, you know what? That's damn good. So, excuse my French.
As if the French
is
are the
this?
only ones that
Because
curse.
what is also in here, what is also in here is some sweater. Spud and Chloe sweater is in here too.
Ooh, yeah, I know that color.
And I was making the Feel Better cowl in this, which I believe in putting something warm around your neck when you're not feeling good. My grandma used to say, put a man's sock around your neck.
I'm just gonna put the skein of yarn.
That's
I'm not
Karen's
gonna.
wearing it.
I'm not gonna
Her
knit
yarn
with it.
is-
I'm just gonna wear it.
Ooh, and Wizard hat pink point
Point
protector. Which I
protector.
never buy point protectors because I lose them. Like it was a
Well,
game.
you
And
just
there you
found
go.
one.
And if you put it near me, I'll help you lose it. It's not something I do on purpose. It's just how my orbit works. And then a ball of this, like my tiniest little
I
yeah.
burlap.
remember that color.
It's
I remember
called-
that sweater.
It was it the
It's
Monos?
called- What is the beautiful woman who said, "Let them eat cake" from France?
Marie
Marie
Antoinette.
Marie Antoinette. This is the Malabrigo. No, Malabrigo.
Is it Maxima? That's Monos.
Monos.
Okay, it's a Monos color because I'm like, this is too soft.
We can work together. It's Monos Maxima.
Go team. Monos Maxima of yarn. I really, really adore.
love that yarn.
You made a fabulous sweater out of that.
It was Knitting Pure and Simple V-neck. I think is all it's
Something.
Something
called.
like that.
Yeah.
The V-neck
Simple
pullover.
V-neck. all in this wonderful gray, silver, blue, and hot pink Monos
That's a good
Maxima
one.
Marie Antoinette. And I did fun things like, instead of, because that has rolled edges and I don't like that, so I did I-cord bind offs for the neckline and the sleeves and the hem. So you get the same look, but no rolling. So I think I've always thought this you worsted would maybe make like a fun hat or something. But I also did these little
You
cute
had
hearts.
Yeah, I was gonna say you had a project going on that you taught with that, with all those colors. I thought no.
It's
Just a bunch
it's
of
headbands
leftovers.
and little hearts, and those were all from the little hearts are from 52 projects.
I think the headbands work too, if I remember correctly.
Maybe. Maybe.
I don't know.
Because I know
Yeah.
I've done headbands as a Stitch Miss thing, and I used You So Sporty. I used UU. Because something cool
UU
about
something.
UU is it just feels durable but so soft to me. Like
I love that
you
yarn.
could use it for a project that you're gonna use and wear and even wash regularly.
Yeah.
But it's still gonna feel good and woolly, but not give up the ghost of pilling so swiftly. So that's one bag. I'm gonna
Cool.
do a second bag here.
The red one.
All right. What is in here? I'm still holding.
You're still holding your Lego.
The dump truck shovel. Oh, this should be finished. It should have been finished last year.
Look how
is
pretty
it?
that
It's my
is.
Oh, it's your
faded.
fade.
Yeah, so
Look how
faded
close
Oh,
sweater.
you do need to
are.
finish
I
that.
am probably like 40 rounds on a sleeve away from finishing.
Oh my
Maybe a little
gosh.
more. I have two.
You're like
colors
two
on
color
a sleeve.
transitions
Whoa,
away.
that is so pretty.
Thank you. I use Lorna's laces in a pretty blue. Who knows what the color is? This pink.
Anniversario.
It is Anniversario, and I used Anniversario twice. This second
the
color
bottom.
that's so pink is Anniversario, and this
Yep.
that's green and yellow and pink and blue
Completely
Oh,
is
different.
also
Malabrigo.
Anniversario. And then this is the whatever speckly one in between was. And then I have a pretty
I feel like it's
green.
called Carnival
Carnival.
Carnival.
Yep.
from Malibu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Mecha. It goes Lorna's laces, Shepherd, Malabrigo sock,
Machita.
Mechita. Yeah,
Because it's little, and
Yep.
Makita, or whatever that is.
it's then sock again, Malabrigo sock, and then this one I think is Malabrigo sock.
It looks like teal
also.
feather.
It's not teal feather because
Is it
teal feather
soulless?
is only solid.
It's mostly green. I'm betting it's soulless.
Could be. That sounds whitish.
Oh, yes.
Well, that answer's not in the bag. So.
Well, we'll never know.
Because
That sounds right.
Never,
I'm really
yeah.
attracted to that color.
I really want you to finish that sweater.
I
Yes.
really want to too. And the only thing in the bag are the two colors I need. And let me tell you, this was something that I went back in my house to evacuate in the Thomas fire. So I can't believe I didn't finish it
Oh,
because it was precious enough
so
to.
When did do you remember the date?
Yes, December 4th.
December 5th.
This,
4th?
Well, the fire started on the 4th.
The evening
I
of the
evacuated
4th.
on the
Okay.
5th.
I was thinking about you this week because of the fire down in the riverbed.
Yes, my children were.
I was like, not
in-
again.
There's,
And
I think there's an arsonist going.
there's got to be because it seems because look, all these fires that are happening are all Ventura County.
Yep. So,
So.
Ventura County strong. Please,
Yeah.
please offer to California fire victims if you can. It really sucks to have your life displaced by fire. I did not lose any property. It was just a stressful week, which I think because you guys were watching the fire approach your homes in Fillmore.
Yeah.
Your cousin lost their home. I mean, it sucks.
Yeah. Last week was
That's all.
last week was very triggering for a lot of people, and it was not. Yeah.
And I don't.
You think you're past it, and then a whiff of smoke is in the air, or you see smoke, and all the nerves come back.
I don't even
So-
have a whim that I'm past it.
No.
Because when I calmed down very quickly, but somebody at work showed me a picture that there was a fire on the 33. Like a friend of theirs was driving by and took a video, and I'm like, my kids are in Ojai at Camp Comfort. I need to. How will they get home? And then I calmed down because it was just like a little burst that they
They got
contained
rid of,
really
yeah.
fast.
Well, there were two places, and it still was like unnerving.
Yep. It didn't make it on the fire map on DC Emergency, so I calmed down.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Not to say that it couldn't get out of control quickly, but there's not a lot of fuel on our end of the county,
I was just
as there won't be on the other end of the county.
the reason I was asking about the date is because I know that's not that far away, But I was just wondering, as a challenge, no, you got like, if you're
This
like
is
me,
not
you
the
got
time of
like.
year. Also, like as
I was just thinking, you're so close, you could finish it before
So,
the end of the year. As a
you
challenge
know
of,
that I'm a challenge accepted kind of person.
but this
but as
is not the
you're-
year to really.
And
challenge
also,
me.
I just saw where you were going right now, and my stomach started to clench.
Nope. So
I think
that
this
would be a
is
no.
So that's a
this would be one that I would be like passive aggressive rejecting. Which
You?
has nothing.
You?
Me? Shocking. Well, what am I going to be? Am I going to be challenge accepted or passive aggressive? Nobody knows.
No.
It's fun.
Totally understand. But if this were summer, that'd be one
Yeah.
thing. But nobody.
Don't ask me to do anything this month or
I
next
know,
month.
precisely.
like the people that'll say at the right about now, maybe some of you will be getting people going, oh my gosh, I need something knit up really quickly for my for a friend for Christmas. You're not doing anything. Would you do it for me?
You're not doing anything. Do they even know you?
Sometimes my new
Never
thing,
talk to that person again.
my new thing is when somebody hints that they want something like, oh, I would love to get
I didn't hear you.
a knitted whatever it is. I always say, oh, I have no idea. I don't know anybody that could do that. I don't know any something. My dad wanted me to sew something the other day. I was like, I don't know anybody with a sewing machine. I'm so sorry. So you can start using my tactic. I don't know anybody that knits. I'm sorry.
You may not believe me when I've got needles in my
Oh,
hand.
yeah. I
but
mean,
will
they
get the
know.
hint.
I love it.
I'm sorry. I don't know anybody. I don't know
Brilliant.
anybody that can help you.
I like the response of, I know where you can learn.
Yeah.
I like
I don't want to teach you though.
No,
Maybe not right now.
Not today.
I also use the come see me in January line a lot.
That's good.
And then
Yeah.
everybody comes to see me all at once, and then I have a lot to do in January.
Which is great.
That's awesome.
Problems to have.
So do you have another project bag, Karen?
I have you mean a project suitcase?
Okay. I've been practicing my Spanish, so I want to say, like, ¿Dónde está tu maleta?
See, this one will fit in the.
I have that bag.
Oh, that is...
This is
That
one
was
of-
the bag no, that was not the bag I used for my sweater.
So I've had all kinds of stuff. I'm like, hey, I've got red pencils in here. I don't know why. Oh, I kind of know why, but that's neither
You
here
know
nor
what's
there.
funny is if we all brought that project bag.
Yeah.
I have that in my office.
We all have one of those.
Okay,
It's
the
the
project
Blue
we're
Q.
talking about, and this is all like vintage cameras on it.
I love
and
those
it's-
bags.
But I love this bag because it can zip
They
closed.
say it's zippered closed and you never think about what's in there again.
Actually, I closed it so I wouldn't be tempted to peek.
Okay.
That's why.
Okay, what's in it?
Okay.
I closed mine so I would never
okay.
think about what's in there again.
Well, actually, and I did put something in here on top because I want to show you the sample that I. One of these years, I
Wow.
That's gorgeous.
yeah, it's not published. It's finished. It's written. It just needs
Oh.
to be published. I've
Okay.
got both.
A
Well, I don't
slip
have good
stitch.
photos.
Is
It's
it?
fade.
Cuff to cuff.
Side to side, yeah.
It's got so many things going for it. I love
It's
that color.
Cuff to cuff. It's got this slip stitch ribbing with where the colors fade. There's short rows so that you get this really nice shaped sleeve, and then you go from side to side. And this has the contiguous method to make the collar.
It's
That's
gorgeous.
cool.
So yeah, it's really
I think
cool.
we should take a picture of all these projects laid out and post them on our Instagram the day this podcast goes live, so you
That
guys
sounds
can
good.
see what we're talking about.
Yeah,
You're all
this
going to
one-
want to make this thing
but
that Karen's
okay,
showing
but
us.
this beautiful yarn.
Because it's fade without being fade, too.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm getting a little bored of
You know what?
Fatal Palooza.
And I did this like long before the fade. This was before fades were a thing.
Whoa.
But I'm bummed because this
Before
yarn
Faded
was
before it was cool.
Yeah, but this yarn's not available anymore because
We'll just have
the
to do a new
gal who
sample.
was doing the yarn
Oh, is it Pigeon Roof?
Pigeon Roof is
Oh,
yeah
so pretty.
she's moved into a different aspect of her life.
Hmm.
But it's so squishy, and it's all American wool, and it's very hardy, so it won't pill. So, and it's also very heavy, which
It's
means
really
I can
pretty.
wear it right now because it's like when I take my husband to catch the train in the morning, it's 46.
Yay! I'm going out of town this weekend, and I was looking at the weather, and the low
What is
on
in
one of
here?
the days is like 28.
Nice.
And I'm very excited. I might wake up for it.
Very
So I
nice.
truly don't know what's in here. There's like a black bag of some sort. We can ignore that. There is a bag that can cage.
Another
I
one
made
in
that
here.
a long time ago.
There's really cool yarn in here.
Ooh.
What
Look
is
how pretty
that?
that is.
Gorgeous, rich purple lace.
Yeah,
weight
what was this going to be? A fade.
Oh,
This is
oh yeah, I remember this.
And I repurposed
Oh,
it.
yeah, that's a fade.
Well, yeah. I
So
got
much
to the
fading
first-
going on.
Well, I finished the first color and then I started fading to the second color, but it's It's a really bubblegummy pink, and I never
love
grew
that
to love
pink.
it. You can have that pink. I
I mean,
to
I don't
love
want that
pink.
much of it.
It's a pink.
There's like a
with
little
little specks of
chunk of it.
black, but it's just I never grew to love that pink. I wanted to,
It wasn't
like it.
you. And I felt that when you picked it, but I was proud of you for picking it.
but it's called beach bonfire or something like that. And what does a what does pink have to do with a bonfire?
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, so that goes there. I've got all kinds of Jaeger spun in here for something, and I have.
I love this yarn. I have
What
some
did
of
I
this.
buy 3
Ooh,
skeins
it's a
for?
I don't know,
Sport?
but that Jaeger spun sport
Oh.
weight is so good.
I have a bunch of that maroon, and I'm going to do that stripy sweater from Pom Pom. That's like, it's got stripes just on the sleeve.
What's that?
Okay, there is a
Father and son.
There's a pattern in here
Karen
for
has such a look of self-disgust
pajamas.
right now.
You know why?
It's a McCall's
Because-
sewing pattern.
I buy sewing patterns and then I forget where I put them, and I end up having to go and get the pattern over again. So I
yeah.
got
This was probably before you had a studio to put it in.
that's right. Well, just today I found this exact pattern. This exact pattern. I've got 2 of these.
Well, now you
Oh,
cut
that's
out
it?
2 different sizes.
Yeah.
No, they're
No.
all the.
I think
There-
now is the moment, Katie.
Wait,
Oh,
wait,
yeah.
This
Karen, wait.
what?
Remember
So-
when we were sewing and Anne gave you such a salty time about tracing
Do we have to
patterns
trace
versus
these?
cutting out?
Yeah.
cut it out. Okay.
Are you about to tell me I'm right about something?
Well, not if you don't let me talk.
I'm very quiet.
Yes. So Katie was just saying, now you can cut out 2 sizes. And then I was going to say, no, Karen traces patterns. And now I have to admit that I'm pro tracing patterns.
She told me in secret, like,
Yeah, I'm like,
I'm
"Don't
on Karen's team
tell
now about,
Karen.
about
I
tracing
will
patterns.
tell her at some point.
Yay! Today's the day that I get to be right.
You're welcome.
That's so
Oh
funny.
dang! This is where all the old receipts that I should.
This is a good project. We're getting a lot of. I think it's very
Yeah.
cathartic.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Oh my god! All kinds of here's patterns. I got all.
My
you know,
goodness.
you print out
Ooh,
patterns.
that's like, what is that? It's a cool
Oh, okay.
format.
So I know why. I was using this. I was making costumes for a play, and I took some Craftsy classes on pattern making basics. The Skirt Sloper by Susie Furrer, Furrer. Great classes. Any class by Suzy, Suzy Furrer. I don't know how to pronounce it. Furrer.
Pure?
Furrer. I think it's Furrer.
Furrer.
Furrer. I sound horrible when I say it, but anyway, so I have slopers and moulage and all these fun little words, and the patterns, because I made 14 costumes for that play, and most of them, pretty much all of them were custom. I had to draft the patterns, and so these were my notes from. Because I use this. I still don't know what the Jaeger spun is there for. I've got 3 skeins that, okay, it's going to be something fantastic.
I love that yarn.
I'm
But
trying to think of what was hot when we got that yarn. That pom-pom clearly was out.
I don't know. I
I
used
don't
it for
know
2
that
different
I really
projects
even
and I really
had a
liked it.
plan. I think because I bought 3, so I would use it for something. I had something in mind.
Yeah,
But
3 seems like a strange amount because it's not a sweater's worth and it's too much for like a shawl. I feel like unless
I've
it's a
got a
really
whole
big
bunch of
shawl.
stuff I
That's
just
why I
need to
wonder if
clean
we're
out
going
of
to mix
here.
it with something.
Maybe.
So anyway, this actually
'Cause
yielded
I feel
very
like
little
helping
yarn.
pick that color.
And then I got this bag of something. Oh, I don't know what this is. This is.
Pretty.
Help me.
Is that a
Fine.
Madeline
It
Tosh?
looks like Mad Tosh.
Looks like a Mad
Mad
Tosh
Tosh
sock of
Uh-huh.
something. Maybe it was going to be another fade.
Baltic
Or I was going
Sea?
to pair it
It's
with.
like a super bright aqua.
And then.
Let me see.
I'm not sure what that is. That's a semi-solid. So I kind of want to. Wait. It's.
I don't know.
No, it doesn't feel
Could
the
be
same
anything.
as the Fleece Artist. It might have even been something that I got at one of the trade shows at least a decade ago. I thought I'd put them together and make them something, but I have a whole lot of nothing here. And then I have I guess I'm out for a while. I was a charter member of the Space Cadets Greeting Explorers Club.
Oh,
But-
congratulations.
That's a lot of shrinky dink there.
Yeah, it's a lot of shrinking.
It's a pretty big charm. Like 2 inches across.
I think you're meant to put it on your bag,
Oh,
not
cute.
necessarily on your yarn. So.
Okay. That makes more sense.
This huge bag really did not yield much in the way of yarn, but
It has a lot of yarn. There's like 4 projects.
Yeah, but look at all
what are
the
they
junk
gonna
that I
be?
need to throw away.
Oh, fair enough.
It's got a lot of papers and other junk.
It's one of those bags.
One of those. Okay, so I will clean that up so I can make use of this because the bag is a great bag.
Yeah.
So I don't know what this is going to be or if they need to be together. This is stash.
Yeah, they
We'll
could
go in
be.
the stash pile.
The Jaeger spun goes pretty with that seafoam.
Mhm.
With the seafoam that I just had in my hand?
Yeah, because that Jaeger spun
Let's
is
see.
almost fingering. Right?
Yeah, they
It's
call it
not.
sport, but
Yeah.
it could be a heavy fingering.
It looks a lot fatter than this.
It does.
Look. There's
Yeah. It's really pretty though.
yeah, so maybe it is definitely sport, but
Dove
I've
gray.
got-
It looks blue.
well, yeah, kind of a blue gray.
It's pretty.
I have 332, 9, almost 1,000 yards. 1,000 yards of sport. You know
I
what?
feel like I was helping you pick that color, so I feel committed to that. I should help you remember what it was.
Well, maybe I should take a picture and post it on Instagram
Ask
and
for
say,
pattern suggestions.
what should I make with this?
Yeah,
This
we-
is refound treasure. Help me decide what to do with it. And I could pair it with a color. I just want to see what I could do by itself with it.
Mhm.
So,
It's very pretty. That yarn, I really like that yarn. Have I said that? I really like that yarn.
I think
okay.
you really like it.
I do. I've used it for a couple projects. Okay, I have one more project bag. It is a little bit bigger than the
I want your
dinosaur one, but
project
it's
bag,
not
by the
big.
way.
You want my project bag?
I want that project. Oh, okay.
Um,
Sharon, then I got to tell you something I found yesterday at Cost Plus.
This is a beanie by UU. The pattern's by UU Yarns.
yes, this is good.
I forgot it.
I love these.
forgot I
patterns.
Oh, look
started
at those
this.
colors.
So this, I've made multiple. It's designed. I think it's designed by
It's that girl, yes.
Amber
H.
Darling, is her name, and I just finished one of her hats. I've made the bee one. I just made the one with the aliens on it.
That's fun.
Believe, yep. And this is a different one. This is Positive Vibes, and this one I was making for me.
She
And
always
it's
makes it in white and pink and purple,
Yeah.
and it makes me so happy.
it reminds me of like my childhood. Those
Yep.
colors together.
In my stash.
Mine is gray with a bright orangey pumpkin color and like a navy.
Which is
and
also real nice.
All the lettering is done. I just need one more row of hearts and to finish the decreasing on the top, and then it's a hat.
But that
I don't know
the
why I
fact
put
that
this
it
down.
doesn't have the needles tells
Yeah.
me you borrowed it for some other project.
I ripped the needles out of it for some reason. I don't know why.
Mostly for something else, I'm sure.
I don't know. I'd have to find some
Your
needles
tension
and
is
put
really
it back on.
good because when you're doing stranded work, sometimes, especially when you're trading off, like in where it's like 2, 2, 2, 2.
Mm-hmm.
There's, I think sometimes when people do stranded, there's a tendency to pull too tight, but your
Yeah.
tension is really lovely.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I should finish that because it's like almost done. I don't know. This I probably started like 2 years ago, so it's old, but I could finish it. I do like it. I like the colors.
Is it really old if it's 2 years? If it's within?
Well, so here's the thing. I
where's
don't have
where's the
super-
line where it becomes old?
I don't have super old projects unless they're in my storage unit, which I don't think there's any projects in there. I think it's mostly just old yarn that's in there. But 2 years ago, maybe 3 summers ago, I don't remember, I did like this giant purge of all my projects. And I went through and I pulled out all of them that I could find. And I ripped or, I frogged or I finished all of them. And then I was down to 0 things in my
Wow.
possession. So all of my projects that I have are not, like, this is not that old because I had finished everything at once.
You're so good.
I don't have any really long languishing things that I can think of. Unless, like I said, unless it's in the storage unit, which I don't want to go digging through to find. So, that is the last of my projects. You
I
want to...
think Karen and I each have one more go. Is that Erin Lane? What, something you were bringing for this or no?
That's what I'm like.
Oh,
that's
that's
my
your
You want to
current
buzz
one.
through your
project.
last 2?
All right,
Yeah,
I'll
so-
share my last 2 things.
'Kay.
I'm taking my more than my due share here. Okay,
I love that bag.
this is a great bag. I
'Cause
think
I gave
Karen
it to
gave me
you.
this bag. It's another
'Cause I
Slip
gave-
Stitch studio bag. I
Hunger
think
Games.
my project bags are either Anna Kappa bags or bags Katie made or Slip Stitch studio bags. So this was something fun. This is probably about 5 years old when
Whoa.
I started it. Because I started as a airplane project when we went to, just Kevin and I went to Boston.
Look at all the great memories you have. A project for this.
Well, I mean, travel knitting is fun. And I've
I
had
don't get
different
anything
feelings
done
about
when I
it.
travel.
Well, this is a great project for travel knitting. It's a pie shawl, which actually I probably started in advance of the trip because the trip was in mid-April, and I like to start a pie shawl on Pie Day.
Yeah.
So I like a lot of started pie shells.
Do you have any finished pie shells?
Not in my possession because I've raffled or I raffled one off.
Oh, I remember that.
Yes, you have finished them, but
I think
not.
I mean, I might. I'd really have to dig in my finished objects. But this is 2 hanks of Norotayo sock, alternating round by round. So a pie shawl is an Elizabeth Zimmerman recipe from the Knitter's Almanac. Best $7.95 or $8.95 you can spend. You can buy in the anniversary issue in hardcover and color pictures, and that's more than $7.95. And it just alternates between these 2 springy colors, and I'm in the last tier, which I always get to the last tier in my pie shawls. And those
How many stitches is it?
I think it's 562, I think is the number. And so I brought this. This was like one of the first projects I moved into the studio because I didn't have any like active projects at that time, and it's a good one to just pick up and knit because it is all in
It's
the
just
round
stocking
and it's
that
just
stitch.
knit.
Yeah.
And when I get all the way done with one of the colors, I'll probably like take its inside and continue on until I'm completely out of yarn because it's Moro, so it'll blend. And then I have this really pretty
Is that Lorna's Laces?
aqua. I want to say it's Araucania.
I
pretty.
think it's Araucania. The color reminds me of something I had
It's
there.
a pretty bluey, soft robin's egg kind of color, and there's no ball band in here. So,
Mystery yarn.
but it's just a little
I see it.
tighter plied, so it feels like an Araucania
Yeah,
semi-solid.
it does look like that.
And a fun thing about a pie shawl at about 144 stitches is that it makes this little pouch on your needle, and so you can throw your yarn into the pouch, and it's a great walking project. So that's why that's why
It's
good travel knitting.
self-contained.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do like a real wide garter stitch knitted on edging with this hank.
Cool.
Every once in a while, I've been tempted to repurpose this blue to something else because I like, you have that mental list of I have this yarn, or you recently opened this project and you're like, that's a whole ball of sock yarn in an unfinished project that could just
could
go
be anything.
something else. But I'm committed to finishing this one someday.
Cool.
Not when. This last thing is an improvised sweater. I'm using my superhero powers to see through it because of what was peeking out at the top. It's an Anacapa bag that we did for our 4th university.
I can't keep track of it. This one is the one where we designed the fabric itself.
Mostly Karen designed the fabric. We just consulted
Okay,
on it.
yeah.
And it's done what a project bag should do. It's protected my project from some stains. It's a white background, which is dangerous for me. And so it has our 3 characters that Katie's husband drew for us. Anna, Cap, and Pa.
Pa's
Anna, Cap, Pa.
Pa's a grandpa sheep.
Yeah.
So, or father-in-law.
Yeah.
Just older gentleman sheep.
So
I guess it's a
Gentleman
ram.
this project is pushing on 3 years old.
I don't think I've
Wow,
ever seen
you've
that
got
project.
black in there.
Because it was a secret project because I used really not Anacapa yarns.
Oh.
Where did I buy this?
God bless you. Those are small stitches on black fuzzy yarn.
I think it's 4s. I think it's probably like
I
6
know.
stitches to the inch or 5 stitches to the inch. It started to just like it's got some interesting texture things just being in the bag. Whoa, it's like dusty.
That's a lot of
and
sweater
there's a lot
shoved
of
into that bag.
lengths. Yeah. Yep, it's a whole sweater.
Wow.
So the last thing I need to do is I wanted the navy to be a little longer, and I want to do an I-cord bind off along the bottom. It's a top-down raglan with
got both the
applied
sleeves.
I-cord. Yeah, applied I-cord. I finished the sleeves first, so because that's my kryptonite. It's black and navy because I want it to go with everything. And it's almost like it started to felt just being in the bag.
That's crazy.
So I-cord edging and seed stitch cuff of about 5 inches or so, and a black body and raglan shaping and applied I-cord edging until the very end when I will do an I-cord bind off. And
Wow.
it's this fun stuff. I think, is it called Wolf Oak? Yeah, it's Wolf Oak, which it's so soft and delicious.
Oh, yeah.
Tinned.
Yeah, I know somebody that's working with that. It's a nice yarn.
It's so nice, which is why it's like doing this, strange thing in here. I hope when I block it, the texture will even out. I think I bought it at Loop and Leaf, which is a Santa Barbara store, on a whim one day. It's not Anacapa yarn. And in case anyone has ever wanted to know, and I am happy to share this etiquette thing, and I'm sorry if it comes off harsh, you shouldn't knit yarn that you didn't buy in a yarn store in a different yarn store. So I never brought it into Anacapa because I didn't buy it at Anacapa. I begged Lois to bring Woolfolk because it's real nice yarn. And I needed one more skein because I'm not sure about this, my I-cord. And I don't care how long this sweater gets. And the good news is, while it's been sitting longer, sweaters have gotten more popular. And so, anyway, I need to finish this one ball of blue and alternate and blend and do an I-cord bind off. So I have two almost finished sweaters.
All right, then. That was a fun project.
This is a really, bang for your buck episode. You're going to get a lot of time with us.
Yes. With we had a mini episode. Now we have a maxi episode.
Yes.
So our question of the day comes from one of our wonderful customers, Bertha. Her question was, how do you organize your time to complete multiple projects? What becomes a priority? When working on larger projects, it can get boring or repetitious. I thought this was an appropriate question because we were talking about works in progress and how many we have. So anybody have any insight on that? How do you organize your time?
When I was doing that 52 projects in 52 weeks, I spent a lot of time thinking about and sharing how to plan projects. And really, I mean, if you break anything down into reasonable pieces, it stops looking like a big bad monster. So if you just give yourself a daily goal, another abandoned project is, I feel safe that neither my sister or sister-in-law are listening to this yet, because I don't reciprocate and listen to my sister-in-law's podcast, which if you're into whiskey and music and cigars, you should listen to Kat and Joe Lecrevain's podcast, which I don't remember what it's called.
Well, you can let me know.
It's on iTunes. I'll let you know someday.
It reminds me of, continue.
Oh, Google it.
I need to finish Hitchhikers for Christmas. And Hitchhiker Scarf by Martina Bem is a really fabulous project if you've never made it. It's 42 points, just a sideways asymmetrical triangle with 42 little stair steps, which is the answer to the universe in all things, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Way to describe
Was that intentional by her? Or?
Yes.
That's why it's called Hitchhiker.
42.
Oh, Hitchhiker.
Yeah.
Duh.
So
I get it. Okay.
It's 42 peaks, so 42 repeats of 8
Yeah.
rows. So you can.
I mean, the repeats get bigger.
Yeah. So you can stagger it. You can give yourself a goal of 5 for the first 3 days, and then work up to because it gets bigger and bigger, just 2 a day.
Yeah.
Or even just do 2 a day.
Even if you don't accomplish that, I feel like it's a helpful thing to keep in your mind is to know I didn't do my 2 peaks today, but you can, you can sort of keep yourself accountable if you don't finish those. Your goal, it doesn't mean that, you don't have to give yourself a hard time, but
so
that is a good way to do that.
My best achievement in those 42 projects is 52 and 52, which was 38 and 52, is I did a clapotis in 7 days.
Wow.
Yeah. Because that was a project.
Did you sleep?
Yeah.
Or eat?
Yeah. That was a project, though, where every time I started one, I think I started 4 or 5 times, and I would do the increases and start the stockinette portion and be like, aren't I done yet?
Yeah.
This project looks so easy. Why am I not done today? And so then I broke it down into the number of rows I would need to do or repeats of the pattern, and I was able to knock it out in 7 days.
Nice.
I slept in 8, but everyone should know that when I say I'm an apathetic housekeeper, it's totally true.
Yeah.
But I have 3 school-age children, and they pull their weight now. So we have a tidier house.
Nice. Yeah. Breaking it down.
Yeah.
If you have a goal in mind as to when you want it finished, a deadline, it can be helpful to sort of divide it out. And also I think just being aware of the projects that you care about finishing is helpful. I have a million projects in progress, but I really currently care about 2 or 3 of them that I really want to finish. So it's okay to let yourself sort of let some fall by the wayside, and you might come back to them someday, but focus on the ones that are important to you at the moment, and the other ones will get finished in their due time. But if they're not important to you at that time, then
Then they might get repurposed.
then just let them sit on a shelf for a while.
There'll be mystery project bags someday.
Yep.
So break it down into bite-sized pieces. Prioritize what you're really interested in.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Karen?
For me, it always I do get very little personal stuff because I'm either designing or I'm
Working on samples.
on samples, which it's that time for
I
the
know.
next section. Just saying. Anyway, so for me, it goes by what has the deadline, and I try to break that down. But if you only do stuff that's on a deadline, it's easy to get discouraged and not have fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
So once in a while, I will pull something out. I like to occasionally have the project that doesn't have to have a deadline. That can be a whenever project. Like Anne, for you, your pie, that's what your pie thing is.
Yeah.
You can just go to it when you want to, and that's the kind of thing I want to do with a project. So I stopped a while back ago. I stopped getting too much new projects until I started clearing some of the old, because it's hard. If I have too many projects, I get overwhelmed, and then I don't enjoy what's in front of me as much because there's I can't focus too much to focus on. So putting some of them, like I said, away in the closet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't have to feel ashamed or give yourself a hard time about putting things to the side, because
deciding that it's okay that these are not important. For me, putting the ones that aren't as important out of my line of sight, so they're not distracting me from the ones that are important or just for fun.
And some people just do one project at a time, and God bless those people.
I
But
am so jealous of those people.
yeah, I like when people ask you, how many projects do you have going right now? I'm like, I have no idea.
How many pairs of clean underwear do you have in your drawer? That's
How dare
my
you ask me
answer
that
to
question?
Yeah.
All right.
I also wanted to say that being honest with yourself about what you can finish, because right now also you might be like working against that deadline that Karen's talking about, and that deadline being whatever holiday you celebrate.
Exactly.
And like sometimes I've given people pictures of things that they're going to get, and then you feel this great relief of, they know I love them, they know I was really thinking of them, and this is the thing I'll finish for them. Of course, then you might find out they don't like that thing, and then you never finish that thing, but tough poop. They didn't deserve it then. You saved yourself the trouble.
Speaking of, you gals might be getting pictures for Christmas.
How dare you?
Here's this thing Karen thought about making me.
Karen started.
Put it in a frame so we can put it in our studios.
Yeah, and I'll look at it and put one on your desk so that it reminds you.
Well, I'll give you little snippets of what it is, so you'll go, oh, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, this will come out in the beginning of December, so you won't hear from us again until the new year. So hope you all have wonderful holidays and
Happy Thanksgiving.
and all that good stuff.
I also want to say, I realized as we were continuing to talk that I don't like alleged wife beaters and cheaters, because I'd hate to get sued over my judgmental nature.
Bring it back around to that, because I could talk on my soapbox for hours.
Oh my
but
gosh,
we won't do that.
We do that at some point. Maybe we could. Yeah, I got some ideas.
Okay.
Also, on the subject of the California fires, Super Buzzy. So I think their website superbuzzy.com.
Yeah.
They have they're doing a drive to get people to make face masks for children.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
That's awesome.
I think anything's better than nothing. I am curious about how good they are at filtering, but I haven't taken a close look at the project. But anything would be better than nothing for people who need masks, because the Bay Area had the worst air quality in the entire planet this weekend. So if that's something, again, I know you're not going to hear this for a couple of weeks, but there's probably still a need, and it's probably something good to have in your repertoire as I keep hearing this is our new normal.
Yeah.
So even if you made some and put them in your own emergency packs,
that would
you
be
might
helpful.
really think about that. But thank you, Super Buzzy, for that effort to support people in the fire affected areas.
And thank you to all of our first responders who are out there doing all the hard work.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
they're the real MVPs.
Yep. In all of the tragedies that struck our county this last 2 weeks.
Yep.
So thank you. Happy holidays. 'Cause
Yep.
I mean, I was thinking of things I'm thankful for too. So I'm thankful for those people.
Yes, definitely.
And I'm thankful for you guys listening.
Yeah, and we will talk to you again in December.
Woo.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yep.